Once again, let us put our hands together for CARE National Hospital. The COVID-19 pandemic has unveiled an important number of vulnerabilities, as well as exposed our weaknesses in preventing shocks. It has also shown that the magnitude of the challenge is exceeding the response capacity of any single partner or other country. It represents, in fact, one of the most dramatic goals to work together. The success of this battle will greatly rely on our capacity to learn from experience and remain committed to the highest humanitarian values. Our real-life heroes are already giving the example. COVID-19 might be today's supervillain, but it does not deter our real-life heroes from doing their job and tirelessly working to find ways to combat the threat and eventually beat the invisible nemesis. At the same time, we join Filipinos in upholding, in the midst of great adversity, the tradition of celebrating the best of human kindness, generosity, social justice, human rights, solidarity, and bayanihan spirit. We celebrate what makes our frontliners and humanitarian real-life heroes. We salute them for continuously putting their lives on the line despite the risks and uncertainties. Their efforts must not be overlooked or forgotten. Mabuhay ang mga frontliners ng CARE National Hospital. And to share her experience as a frontliner hero, let us call on Ms. Gracelyn Joy to review COVID nurse.
Good evening to each and every one of us. My name is Grace. Being one of the staff having stayed in the unit for longest time since the COVID unit started, it is a pleasure to share a glimpse of our journey in the ward. The unit started from the second week of April, and the unit started anew. From a new environment to new set of staffs from different areas. At first, they had to draw slots to choose the staffs who were supposed to have duty in the area. Parang loto lang siya. At that time, the COVID scare was at its peak, and of course, no one would like to have duty in the COVID area. Many were scared, then the result of the draw came out. All have different reactions. Some were happy because they were not chosen, and for the chosen ones, some felt scared, some were in disbelief, and some were maybe a little bit reluctant. Though not all have negative reaction, I have great respect to those who wholeheartedly volunteered. She said I would mention her name, Ma'am Cherry. Though I am not one of the volunteers, I was only chosen due to the fact that I was new at that time and I was not originally in the list of staffs who were drawn on the lottery. But as a new staff, I had no choice but to say yes to the offer. Well, I consider myself one of the chosen ones, and I accepted my fate. I started my duty on the 1st of May, and counting the days, I stayed for more than a year in the unit. I can still remember all my worries when I started having my duties in the area, but as time passed by, I think I got used to it, and with the help of my colleagues, we got through day by day. In the unit, not only our patients, but also us were isolated from the outside world. Literally isolated. The only place we were allowed to go was in the unit itself and our temporary accommodation. We also have our own elevator for exclusive use and a clear pathway to follow, and we were not allowed to stray away from that path. Everything was exclusive for us. Some were afraid that even just seeing us made them shy away from us, and that was the sad part. We were isolated that sometimes, when we stare outside the window, we would feel sad because we never get to go outside. We always saw the same faces in the unit, and we received endorsement from the same staff and endorse again at the end of the shift to the same staff. Only patients come and go in our unit, but we stayed. In the beginning of the unit, with only some guidelines to follow, we learn to do things each and every day. We implement rules as we encounter them in our daily duty, considering that the area we work in was new. We would always be thankful to our heads, especially Sir Ronald, the head of the infection control, our area managers, our supervisors, our nursing directors, and those people who took the time to cook for us and give their greetings like that, and the other departments for all the support they have given us when the unit started and up to this day. Every now and then, they would ask us if we were okay and coping well in the unit. We encountered a lot of firsts and lasts in the area. We had to cope up with all the issues we face each and every day. Just thinking how scary the virus was is already a hard fact we had to cope with. Another is our families were worried about us working in such an area. Good thing, all of us in the unit got to know each other better, and we consider each and every one as our friends, and eventually became our family. We check on each other from time to time and help each other in times of need. The hardest part was when we started to have mortality in the unit. Knowing what our patients have been through, it gave us a lot of fear, knowing that if we are not careful, we might end up in their situation. We encountered different patients, and each patient had a story to tell. Some of which made us cry, but we had to stay strong for ourselves, for our family, and for our other patients who needs our service. We also had some of our staff in different areas, our patients, and even our own staff from having long days of duty, but we had to endure because it was our job to do so, and no one will be able to do it for us. There was a time when patients were coming in non-stop and the unit was already full. We thought it would never end, but as they say, some things always come to an end. If every day we were admitting patients, there was also a day when we discharged patients, and it was one of the happy days in the unit. Especially when we discharged our first ever COVID patient. It was a big celebration. We celebrated when our oldest and our youngest patient was discharged, and when our pregnant patient safely delivered. As time goes by, patients admitted got discharged until the time when the census was low. Then came the time when we were thinking that the unit would be closed. It was also a celebration when our last patient during that time was discharged, but we were both happy and sad. Happy because we would close the unit, but sad because we would say see you around to the people we worked with in the past few months, people we constantly see and work with, people we consider our family. Then, now, when we thought it was the end of the COVID area, we thought wrong. Because again, we are called in the unit, and we were back again, still doing what we have to do. It has been a roller coaster ride with ups and downs, but we survived, and we are still surviving. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Gracelyn Joy Toribio, a COVID nurse. What a very inspirational testimony from yours.